Hi, welcome to Risoyo. My name is Paul Byrne. I'm the president of Risoyo, and today we're going to be talking about Magento. This will be the first in a series of videos about Magento that you'll be able to see at shop.risoyo.com. And this first video is simply an introduction to the video, or to Magento itself. And we're going to talk about what Magento is exactly. So you may have heard the word Magento, you may have heard about Magento in the marketplace. It's the most widely used software for web stores, but what does that mean? Well, Magento is a piece of software that's a management system for a web store. So it allows a merchant to manage an online store. Well, the components of that are really 6 that we're going to talk about here. There are more of them, but we're just going to talk about these 6 as the basics, and we'll get more into detail in the other components in future videos. So in my mind and in my experience, the most important part of Magento is the Magento catalog. Magento's catalog is a place to keep your products. It's a database, it's a list of products, call it what you want, but the catalog is a place where your products reside. When you get the catalog right with Magento and you have a well-designed catalog, you can create some really fantastic user experiences. You can make your products very easy to find. It provides for an easy-to-manage website. If you get the catalog wrong, on the other hand, you're going to have problems with your website. You'll need to redesign your catalog if you don't do a good job the first time. So for me, the most important part of Magento is the catalog. You really want to get that right. The second thing that Magento offers is a user manager. So you may be familiar with the fact that you're going to have customers, but you're also going to have other kinds of users, admin users, people who are managing orders and so forth. And Magento provides management for them. It provides access to the administrative area for administrative users, people creating content, shipping orders, doing those kinds of activities, as well as account history, places to view information about your account profile, your shipping addresses, etc. if you're a customer. So that user management in Magento is another key function of the program. The next key function in Magento is content management. So you may have different kinds of content, whether they're images, videos, HTML pages, explanations about the kind of work that you do or the kind of products that you have. Those are all important pieces of Magento, and they're in the Magento content management system. Some people claim that Magento is really a content management system that specializes in e-commerce. That's really true. There are other great content management systems out there like WordPress and Drupal and Joomla, and you've probably heard of many others. And those content management systems lack the really important piece of Magento, which is the ability to effectively conduct e-commerce. The next thing that Magento provides, and some people call it this, is a shopping cart. So Magento shopping cart is a place for your customers who visit the site to take products and place them in a cart. And it tracks what's in an individual shopping cart. That shopping cart feature is really one of the defining features of e-commerce. But to be honest, Magento has a great shopping cart, but it's really not the most complex part of the site. So the shopping cart's important. It's an important feature to have, and clearly you could not have an e-commerce site without one. But in reality, the user management, the product management, the content management are really where you get the exciting features of the Magento store. The next thing that Magento provides for you is a place to check out. So you can collect payment from your customers. That is a key feature of Magento. You can accept credit cards, you go through a checkout process, and an order is created. Of course, without the checkout process, all of these other pieces of content, of information, would really mean nothing for the merchant. And finally, once you have orders in your basket, well, it's really important to have an order management system. So Magento provides an order management system where you can track the orders that are created. When they're shipped, they're marked as shipped. Tracking information goes out to customers. All those things are pieces of the order management system. So again, catalog, customer management, content, a shopping cart, a checkout system, and an order management system. So in addition to the different components of Magento, I just want to explain the different variations of Magento that there are. And if you've been in the marketplace and you've been looking for Magento, you've heard of it, you've probably heard of 3 different versions of Magento. The first version is called Magento Go. And then the other 2 versions are Community Edition, which is abbreviated CE often, and then you've probably also seen EE, or Enterprise Edition, talked about. The main difference between Magento Go and the Community and Enterprise Editions is that Magento Go is in the cloud. It's what they call a software as a service, and so it's all self-contained. You go to a website, you sign up for Magento Go, you don't have to get your own server, they provide the server. You don't have to update your software or maintain it. They do all of that for you. And so Magento Go is a software as a service. The downside of Magento Go is it lacks the flexibility of Community and Enterprise Edition in that you cannot do quite as many changes to the software as you could with Community and Enterprise Edition. A difference between Community and Enterprise Edition that most people notice is off the bat is that Community Edition is free and Enterprise Edition costs about $15,000 a year for a software license. But the most important commonality between the two is that you download this software to a server. So no matter what you're using, you will need a server to host your web store. So that means you have to have a separate contract with a company that is going to provide internet connection to a box that's called a server. It's a special type of computer if you're not familiar with that. And that's where you will load your Community Edition or Enterprise Edition software. And that server has to be maintained separately. The Enterprise Edition, it differs from the Community Edition in 3 important ways. So the first one is that there are some features of the software, some things that you can do with Enterprise Edition out of the box that are not included in the Community Edition. And some of those features include private sales, there's some customer segmentation, there's returns management. There are other important features in the Enterprise Edition that are not included in the Community Edition. So those are things that you pay a little bit more for. And most of those features you can get in the Community Edition by adding extensions, but you have to be careful because those extensions may be provided by different companies, and so you're going to need somebody to work with you on that, a systems integrator or a developer, to make sure that those extensions don't conflict with each other and there are no problems. So it's quite a bit of value that the Enterprise Edition provides in the features themselves. The second thing that Enterprise Edition provides that Community Edition does not provide is support. So when you are using the software, you know, it's not quite like using the software that's on your desktop computer where that thing may update automatically and everything's great. No, you have to update your software from time to time, so that means somebody has to upgrade your Community Edition or your Enterprise Edition. And sometimes when those upgrades happen, things go wrong. And this is true of any server-based software. And it's also true of Community and Enterprise Edition. So Enterprise Edition, if anything goes wrong, first of all, they're going to provide you with patches, they're going to provide you support. If you run into bugs in the software, if you run into a use case that just hadn't been foreseen by the developers, you can go to Magento and they will provide you a Magento engineered patch for that feature. That's really important because you know that it is actually written correctly and everything's perfect with that. On the community side, the support is really just knowledge base, forums. You're going to have to hire a systems integrator or a developer to help you maintain your store if you're not a technical person yourself. Now, on the enterprise side, that support is really designed for that systems integrator, for the technical person. So they'll provide patches, they'll provide things that a systems integrator will know what to do with, but most merchants who don't have quite the technical skills in that area, they're not really going to know how to apply a patch to their server, for example. So Community Edition, really there are patches available. You can get the support, you can download that, but they come out a little bit slower. They may be offered by other companies. With Enterprise Edition, you know it's a Magento engineered support. Finally, and something that you may have heard of in the software world, is warranty and indemnification. And the warranty and indemnification that comes with Magento Enterprise covers the intellectual property of the software. You may have heard of the expression patent trolls. Well, there are companies out there that claim to have a patent on maybe a feature of a website or a certain way of doing things on a website. And as soon as they see you being successful out there, they may try to come after you for intellectual property infringement, and they may try to sue you. Not saying it's going to happen, but it does happen in the marketplace. Community Edition really doesn't provide any sort of support for that. You're on your own if you're being sued. Whereas on Enterprise Edition, if the code itself is provided by Magento, then they're going to stand behind it. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to Magento and that it provides some information for you. There's a lot more to come at shop.rizzolio.com, and we hope that you'll join us on our website soon. Thanks very much.